No, I'm just.
Hello, welcome. That's right. This is Bigfoot Explorer with the amateur type show here tonight on Wednesday. This is Scott. We have
Christy Sasquatch
is back, and we also have Mr. Patrick Vaughn. And tonight we have a subscriber encounter show. Half the show we're gonna do Miss Chris. A lot of y'all might know her from the YouTube world. She's still Crazy Chris on YouTube. We had a good talk yesterday. She's from Missouri. Monday, yeah. So and then in the second half of the show, we're gonna announce something and a little surprise that kind of popped up. Some people might already know. Before we get started, let's see who's in the house. We have Ken Fletcher is in. Hey Ken, thank you so much for the donation. We got Lady in the Woods.
B.
Yep.
Round Dwarf, greetings.
We got Carl Price.
Chris Smith, Big Rob,
Yeah.
3080, Robert D.
There's Chev. There's Chev. We got Ann Burr is in the house.
Hiker Dave.
Hiker Dave is in the. Hiker Dave, what's up, brother? The videos are good. I'm glad you're back, man.
What's up, Margaret Bridges?
Wait, is somebody watching? Miss Chris, are you watching the video? If you are, you can't watch it.
Yes, I'm watching it.
Well, you got to turn off the volume.
The volume's already off.
Okay, cool deal.
Okay.
So, with that said, let's get started here tonight. We're gonna use Christy Sci-Fi's favorite word. I am completely discombobulated here this evening. StreamYards, which we use to live stream, was not working with Google Chrome. When I would go to StreamYards, it was just a white screen. I was on tech support for like 30 minutes. They were trying to get me to do stuff. Then I had to download Mozilla Firefox because it doesn't work on Microsoft Edge web browser. So I had to use Firefox. So I tried Firefox. Guess what? Same white screen of death. Nothing. Restarted, cleaned the cache, cleaned all your history, everything. So we finally got this to work, and I apologize for the intro. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna introduce you to Still Crazy Chris, Miss Christina. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay, except for my back. I've got bulging disc and tearing disc and sciatic nerve problems. So
oh my goodness! Well, we'll pray for you for that. I know it's not going away. So, so Monday we had a good talk about some of the stuff that has happened to you. Why don't we just go ahead and start from your earliest? And and then we'll just go through them because she's had multiple strange things happen to her, and she was very nice on the phone. I wanted to give her a chance to tell her encounter. So Why don't you start off with the first one?
It was 1973, and I went hunting with my dad, and he shot 8-point buck, and he went to go get the tractor because we couldn't pull it back to the house. And he got there, and my mom says, "Where the hell is our daughter?" And he said, "I left her in the woods." And she panicked, and he was trying to get the tractor starting, and well, my mom come running down there. It's pitch black by this time, it was dark.
Yeah.
Was it 30 minutes before dark? You could shoot. And I was 8 years old, and I was just flipping out. Things being thrown at me, noises in the woods like footfalls, something walking in the leaves because there's nothing but woods. And then I was sitting underneath a pine tree.
Right.
And I had things thrown at me. I don't remember growls or nothing. I was just a little, like, 30-pound soaking wet child.
Right, right.
And my mom finally found me, and we drug the deer farther than me and my dad drug it. That tells you what one can do. Yay!
Right.
But,
Hey, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, he left you there at dark, way back in the woods in the field with the deer, and you had some strange things happen there. So, so what was your next encounter, and how old were you then, and where did that happen?
Let me go through what happened between I was 8 till I was 15. We played in the next door neighbor's field, and it was pasture plus woods.
Yes, ma'am.
And I forgot to tell you this one when we talked. And you know how you got them large culverts, that
yes, ma'am.
they put underneath roads to let water go through them.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, he had one. The neighbor guy, he was just an old farmer, as nice as he could be. His name was John. Well, he had one that was cut in two and placed in the woods. Well, we found this, and there's only 3 of us kids in the neighborhood that played together. 2 boys and then me, so I was a tomboy. And this culvert, was cut in two, and it was out there in the trees, amongst the trees, and it had a whole bunch of leaves floating in it. But it was open on each end, so the leaves, probably could have just blowed in there. But they all looked flat, like they were stuck to the ground, and it had this odor like, the monkey cages at the zoo. This musky, stinky odor.
Right.
Inside this culvert. And that flipped me. Well, all the kids had motorcycles in the neighborhood. And, of course, mine was the slowest. And we had this path we would take between one field to another field, up around that with lateral with the highway. And then, we'd go across the road, hit our property, and then circle back around and do it all over again. And we're not talking 20 miles an hour. Us kids was doing 80. And we'd always get down this one valley, and it was real spooky, and it always felt like somebody's watching us.
Mm-hmm.
Watching, I felt like somebody's watching me. I haven't talked to the other 2 kids, how they felt. And, but it was just creepy down there. It had pine trees, oak trees, all kinds of trees. And it had a pond, and then we went around the pond and come down in the valley. And it was a nice open valley, grass. but trees were just everywhere. But
Miss Chris,
I didn't.
let me interrupt you just for a second. Everybody in the chat wants to know what part of Missouri, and you can give a broad area.
Springfield, Missouri.
Okay, and that's where the encounters happen as well, right?
Yes.
Near there. Okay.
I can give you.
No, that's fine. They just wanted a general idea. There was a bunch of people asking about what
I didn't see it. My screen froze up, so sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. Okay.
Pat Jones owned Exotic Animal Paradise, and his property come all the way up to Highway 125. So, we got to see all these exotic animals, from our house too. And also across the street was nothing but woods. And you can look it up on Google. It's Highway 125 and Farm Road 132. Well, my house sat in that triangle shape. If you look at the Google map, now there is my dad built, it was a flea shop, flea market shop, not a flea shop, a flea market. And so you'll see that building plus another large building and a couple of other.
Okay, when did the second encounter happen?
I'd say I was around the mid 70s to the later 70s.
Okay, and what happened? And what happened in the second encounter?
Well, I played a lot of sports and everything, so I was tired, so I took a nap, and I missed supper, so I got up and I was fixing me some chicken and stars, hooray for Campbell's, and I was standing, I did the can opener and stuck it in the bowl, and this was not too far since microwaves were first born.
Right.
I was getting me a can of, chicken stars put in the microwave, and I just looked up and I could see nothing but black, and the arm, how like somebody's looking down into your car window, they have their arm on the hood or the top of the truck, their car, and then they lean down.
Yes, ma'am.
So I could see nothing but all this hair and this huge arm and then black chest.
This was like in the window of the kitchen in the house?
Kitchen window. And I was like inches from this thing. So I didn't scream. I didn't, say anything to my dad. My dad walked in, right after I did.
Right.
So, but I didn't scream. I didn't yell. I just got my suit and went to my bedroom, really. I didn't say nothing.
Right.
So, and there's some stuff that happened with my dad. I don't know if you want me to tell that or not.
We can go into that a little later. So that's like mid 70s. So what happened on the third issue, the third time?
It was around 2003, 2006, something, early 2000s.
Yeah.
2000. Me, my husband, and my two kids. I'm not for sure if my stepdaughter was in the car or not, but I know 4 of us was in the car, and I was driving, and my husband was in the passenger seat. We have his and her trucks, and I drive my truck, he drives his truck. We even have his and her boat. So, anyway, we was on our way to Stockton Lake, going through Ash Grove, Missouri, and we come up on this road. It has two dips in the road. It's by Bonham, and we went down the one dip, and we was coming up the other dip, and we seen this thing cross a barbed wire fence, just stepped right over it, and I thought it was going to run in front of me, but it was in the ditch, and here I'm looking at it, and it's the same height as my four-wheel drive truck. I got 17-inch tires on this thing, and it's a four-door, and when I come up, it just fell in the ditch with its head turned, and when I passed it, you could see the hair just blowing on it. And we don't have black bears up here, and that's been sighted. I've never seen one. And that freaked us out. So
right. So did the rest of the folks in the car see it as well?
Yeah. My husband saw it because he said, "What the hell was that thing?" Because it just stepped right over the fence, and no human can do that without getting their crotch, caught.
You're exactly right.
Hurting themselves,
Yeah.
man or woman,
That's so true.
Just right over it.
That's so true.
Down the ditch, and I thought, oh my Lord. I thought the thing was going to run out in front of me.
Right.
And he couldn't see it, but my daughter saw it because she was behind me. And she was about 12. And she said, "Mama, what kind of beast was that?" And I said, "I have no, at the time I didn't have Bigfoot in my head, so I, just kind of, I didn't know much about Bigfoot till Finding Bigfoot came on.
Right,
TV,
right.
And that's really not a Finding Bigfoot showed me, but
yeah, but really, it was that craze that kind of started it for some people, and
correct.
I guess that started. I think it started around like 2011 or something. Didn't it start around then?
Yeah, I don't know, but
okay.
So what started? I don't know when it started.
Yeah,
so, but that's when I started learning more about Bigfoot, and then the things flood back into your head, that you forget about years and years and years, and and stuff.
So would you say, like, after you saw this in the vehicle, you maybe started thinking back now to the arm in the window and when you were a young girl, right?
Yeah. Right.
So you also spoke, I forget if you had one or two more encounters or some strange things happen. You just go ahead and have the floor and go ahead and talk about what happened after this third encounter.
Okay. It was Easter Sunday this year. I had 4 dogs, but I've lost 2 in the last 2 years, or less than a year apart. And I let the 3 dogs out, and they're just little poodles and a Bichon. And I let them out to go potty, and I stepped out. I've got a porch, and then I've got part of the dock, that you dock boats into.
Yes, ma'am.
We took the dock and the boards and made a deck out of it because they were just going to throw it away. And I said, "No, I can use that as a wraparound deck." Are you kidding?
So y'all pushed it up against the house and made like a deck?
Yeah. That was,
okay.
That's treated lumber. That's expensive wood.
Yes, ma'am.
You got you've already got the frame. That's stupid just to throw it away.
Yeah.
But I stepped up on I call it the dock part, and all of a sudden, well, there's two sheep up on south of me, kind of southeast from me, and our yard light came on when I came out, and I've seen them at the fence looking into the woods. And my mom lives in them woods. She lives up behind me, and I'm always worried about her because I keep telling her, you know, there's things in the woods that will get you, you know. And I stepped out on the dock, and all of a sudden I hear this scream. Well, the dog shot for the house, and then the sheep shot into the, you know, the little building. And I'm like going, what the hell was that? And then everything went quiet.
Yeah.
So I can't say it was a Bigfoot because I didn't see it, but you know, my inside trembled.
Yeah.
And I went in the house very quickly and got my, you know, we have several guns laying around. So.
Right. So one of the important details, maybe, you live in the same house when you were a child, right?
No.
No?
Live on the
Okay.
same road.
The same road.
Yeah, the house that I grew up was east on 125 and Farm Road 132.
So how far away is that from you?
About 20 miles.
Okay.
Now I live in my grandfather's house now that he built. And
So the first
house.
two encounters, the one when you were 8, when you were little, and your dad left you with the deer, and then the one in the kitchen with the arm, that happened at the 20-mile house away, right?
Right.
But you know, you also live in the rural areas now too, and since these things happen, especially the third encounter that you saw on the road with your husband and your daughter, and I know it kind of opened the proverbial window to the thoughts and suppressed memories when you were younger and what not. So can you describe the scream? I mean, was it a kind of like a grunt or a yell or a howl?
It was a scream, like a high pitched woman scream, you know, like a woman.
Yeah.
We've never, well, I grew up here too, you know, I stayed with my grandparents all the time at this house ever since I was, you know, it was built in the 70s when I was 5 years old. And,
right.
We've never heard no, like, bobcats or mountain lions ain't up in this area. They're more down towards, like, the foothill. I'm sure they're around here, you know, anything can be around here, but we've never seen one or heard any.
Right. So did you have anything else happen after the sheep scurried away in the scream?
All the frogs in the pond just stopped, all insects stopped, and everything.
Yeah.
And that I haven't heard nothing yet, but I thought these son of bitches have found me again. You know, it took me out. You know.
Hey, Chris. Yeah.
Yes.
What was the duration on the scream? What was the duration on the scream? How long did it last?
About 30 seconds, maybe at the most.
30-second scream.
Yeah, just a real high-pitched scream, and the dogs ran.
It lasted a long time.
Door, wanted in. I thought Well, I started shaking because I thought, this damn thing has found me again. The one that was looking at me inside the window.
Right. Did you tell your husband, like when you heard it? Yeah.
Yeah. He was inside asleep. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I
God.
don't sleep very well. So.
Right.
And then I had another thing happen. I forgot. I was sitting here, it's winter time, and I sit in the shop because I can smoke, and watch my YouTube, and because I don't want to sit there and watch the same Western 5 times on the channel like my husband does, He just sits there and watches, a Western that's been on 10 times. I've already seen it, 10 times.
Them the Turner broadcast, they pump out them Western reruns all the time.
Yeah. And I'm not watching it. But anyway, I was sitting out here in the shop, and I have a little, a wood burning stove, and I throw wood in it if we have it. Or I've got a little electric heater, and I wear a big coat, and I'm fine. I like coldness because I'm hot blooded. And I was sitting here, and the garage door maybe 20 feet at the most away from, the garage door where you pull a car into.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, all of a sudden I heard this thing. I don't know. It could have been coyote. It could have been a dog. I don't know, but it sounded like it had big lungs. You could hear this sniffing around the garage door. And it was only in like 1 or 2 places. I mean, just sniffing. And I could hear it. Blower that blows the, the hot air around, I heard it over that off the stove.
Wow.
The wood burning stove. And that I was just sitting here going, what kind of big thing is that, And I've been sitting here, and I've had the door handle on the back door turned. And my grandfather just put, he's a carpenter. He put a door handle on there and then put a pin through, through the frame.
Right.
And the door, and kept it closed. Nobody could get in because it was one of them big, long, nail-like things. And I've heard things hit the concrete, like, just, like that or something.
Right.
And then the door, now that's happened to me more than once. Somebody trying to turn it to get in. And out here where I live, we have all older people. There's no, it's not a bunch of kids.
Right.
So, we don't have a bunch of kids in the neighborhood.
So when you say a neighborhood, is this in the suburbs or is this in the rural areas?
We're rural. We're rural, but we have subdivisions around us.
Okay. So you're kind of on the outskirts. You still have some woods and patches of woods all around you. Fields.
No, we have a lot of woods.
Yeah.
Across the street, down the street, back behind my mother's in the woods.
Right.
Down along the west side or the north side of the house, and then we're rural, but you have these pop-up subdivisions,
right?
That people have bought the land and got permission to put 20 houses, in it.
So usually when this door would move back and forth, or like it was turning or pulling open,
right.
This would be like late at night when you couldn't sleep and you just go out there. Yeah. And it never really opened, though. It never fully opened the door, though, right?
No, because I had the pin in it.
Yeah, but it was trying slowly, something.
Right. It was real slow turn.
That's creepy.
And now I did find we have a fence to keep the dogs in,
Right.
just in the backyard. Now I don't know if this has anything to do with it or not, but I found like a heel mark in the yard, and I just kind of blew it off. I wasn't looking for footprints. And then on the other side, there was another heel mark. And this was about a 20-foot jump, I would say, from one spot to the other. And I haven't seen no more lately.
Wow.
They cover some ground in a leak.
Do they?
Yep.
I don't know. I've never seen, a footprint or tracks before, but I've had things thrown at me. And so me and my husband, we love to fish also. We're diehard fishermen. He's gone right now. He went fishing. I said, "You're missing my debut."
You're a star on YouTube tonight.
You're missing my debut of me telling my stories for the very first time to anybody on live,
Right.
But he went fishing. He took his brother. His brother lost his license, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, he deserves it.
Oh my gosh. He must have been a bad guy, huh?
Went from drinking and driving, it was from something else.
Oh my goodness.
It was in his car. I'll just put it in.
Okay, yes, we won't go there. But yeah, so that it seems over the course, so you were 8 years old in 73, right?
Right.
So you're in your mid 60s?
No, hell no. Damn. You're gonna kill me.
I'm sorry.
I'm 54.
Well, what I'm trying to say is these issues have followed you since you've been young.
Right.
Things
And
that you couldn't explain, of course, when you were little, and then as you got older, of course, seeing the one on the highway was probably the biggest eye opener for you. And then
that one was finally somebody seen one beside
me, made you feel better, kind of validated the fact that you weren't crazy.
But see, like when we go fishing, we would hear tree knocks, but I thought it was from finding, Bigfoot and stuff. And, we would hear, when we fished the ledges, of the lake.
Yes, ma'am.
And you could hear stuff up there, and pebbles would fall off the cliff, but you couldn't see up there. We never could see. We saw the cutest, we did see something that was really cute, and it was a family fox. I don't know what you call them, but a litter of little puppies and the mama fox. It was so cute. And we see eagles, down at the lake, at Stockton Lake.
Right. So, did you have any additional things happen other than being in the barn area or with the door issue and things of that nature?
No,
okay.
I think that's it on that. Now, when I was younger, we'd play in that, this between 8 and 15, when you hit 16, you got a driver's license, you take it to the streets then. Right,
yeah, you're free. Yeah, you're free. You're free to ride the road.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
The field that we played in, where I told you about the culvert, it smelled like the monkey zoo, and it did. It smelled just like a monkey cage. The man always said, "Do not go past the back gate. You're not allowed." And as kids, we respected him, and we didn't go back there.
Right.
We was afraid to get a whipping, And I've had several of them too. And so one day he got in his truck and he was going back there. And he had a gun, how in the 70s, people put gun racks in the back of their windows, and carried their guns. Usually mostly 22s, but he had a real high powered with a scope on it. And we went to that back field, and all I can remember, nothing happened, thank God. But all I can remember is all these pine trees. I mean, there was hundreds of them. Just hundreds. But nothing really happened.
Yeah, but something he didn't want y'all to go back there though too. It was something
Right.
that he didn't want you kids to go back there and see.
Right.
Well, I tell you.
By that culvert, there was also a stream.
Yeah.
Right there also.
Okay. Well,
So,
I tell you what. You're still. Have you had anything happen since around your home? No, it's been relatively quiet, huh?
Yeah, it's been quiet. Yeah.
Well, that might be for the better.
Yeah. So my grandfather was full-blooded Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
And my great-grandmother was also.
So they knew a thing or two about the land.
Yeah.
And the woods
now,
and the sky.
I never heard of them. My grandfather would always tell me stories, but he never told me any about, the big fella or the big man or the monster, whatever you want to call it. But see, we was always told, in the set, be home before dark or the booger man gets you.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from a lot of folks.
We was always inside before dark. We wasn't allowed to play outside after dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, have you? I mean, you sound like you're relatively normal. I mean, it hasn't really done anything to psychologically inhibit your day-to-day life or what have you. But
right.
it's something that you still enjoy to kind of study and want to know about. Would I be right in saying that?
Right. Yeah. I want the government to say, "Hey, they're real."
Yeah. What do you think they are, though? Do you think they're possibly early man, or perhaps a descendant of? Are they an ape species? What's your thoughts on what
Link.
The missing link, huh?
Oh, I know that.
Hey, it's a good answer. It's the missing link.
Branched off and they didn't develop like us or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on, I guess, what kind of encounter you have. Also, what they would be to you.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of people say they're monsters, and other people say, "Oh, I'll go play with them in the woods." La di da da. Now, bullshit. I ain't playing with something that big.
Tell him, Chris, you ain't playing with that big hairy man out there stinking in the culvert.
Chris don't play them games. Homie don't play like that.
Well, homie don't play that. That's right. Well, hey, Miss Chris, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. We're running up on 9:18, and
did you want to hear about my dad?
Yeah, sure.
When I was around 17 or 18, we had a houseboat that me, my mom, and dad built. And it had, it wasn't like, down in Louisiana, a shanty boat.
Yeah.
This had a motor on it and a steering wheel, I'm not making fun of Louisiana or, Mississippi or anything because I'm just a hillbilly too, I'm a hick. If you can jerry rig it, I'm there, and I can say jerry rig it because my husband's name's Jerry. So, around 82, 84, we had some people stay at the houseboat, so they took my bed. And so I had to sleep, in the hallway, but next to my mom and dad. And all of a sudden, he started screaming in his sleep, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me. And I jumped up, flipped the light on, and I said, and grabbed him, and my dad was no little man. He was a big man. I grabbed him and I started shaking. I said, what the hell got you? And my mom says, oh, hell, he has this dream all the time. I don't know what. And I just say, let it get you. I don't know if that has something to do because, he still went hunting, after I didn't go hunting with him no more after that night, when I was 8, because that scared the living daylight out of me, so I wouldn't go. But my mom says he has that kind of dream all the time, and I just say, let it get you, let it get you. And so I don't know, but, I didn't get, Bigfoot come into my life afterwards. And my dad passed away in 2007, so I never got to ask him what the hell was getting him, So I don't, but that's about all I got, So.
That's good. I'm sorry I had to run to the restroom. We all been running to the restroom here. But hey, I want to appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. I enjoyed talking to you Monday on the phone. We had some good laughs. And one of the reasons, your encounters aren't horrific. Or it'll come back.
What?
It'll come back. Yeah, it does that sometimes. Lovely technology.
And if anybody asks, I am from Springfield, Missouri. I'm not from like Louisiana or Mississippi. I just have a weird accent, so
right.
Sorry, everybody don't like it.
No, it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I was saying is
I'll say what's on my mind, and that's the way it is. You don't like it, you can kiss my
grits.
butt side.
Kiss my grits. Yeah, and that's why we hit it off so well. I like your attitude. You tell it like it is. But what I was trying to tell you is, just because your encounters were somewhat not jarring or a major traumatizing event, that's no less important. And because I think you represent many people across the United States and Canada who have had these strange occurrences happen not just once, but many times throughout their life, especially if they live in the rural areas. So it was very nice to have someone come on and just be just like us, the common folk who has a story. And I appreciate you for coming on here tonight. And hey,
I appreciate you letting me tell my story, because getting it off my chest helps a lot, because my mom don't believe me.
Well, you can show her the show, and we surely believe you. And those sheep and those dogs knew something was up.
There was something I can't
Right.
guarantee it was, but what else makes the animals around it shut up?
Yeah.
Everything shut up. I mean, frogs, insects, everything,
Right.
and it screamed.
Yeah.
I've witnessed that.
Patrick says he witnessed that too. So I know
Okay.
you're not crazy. Okay. You're
Well,
not
I'm
crazy.
still crazy.
Well, I know your YouTube handle is still crazy, Chris, but what we're trying to tell you is you're not really crazy yet. Okay.
No, not really, but I like people to know it, and that way they're scared of me.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go get some rest. Try to rest that back a little bit, and forgive me about your age. I feel horrible. I'm gonna be thinking about that all day tomorrow.
Eight years old in 1973.
Yeah.
Hello.
You can scold
No,
me.
I
You
don't
can scold
care.
me.
I don't care.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Chris, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
All right.
Thanks, Patrick.
Bye, Chris.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye, Christy. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, let me get this out there real quick. Someone in the chat asked about, I think it was Chev. Christy said it was Chev. Wanted to know if you have an encounter, okay? All you have to do is go to bigfootexplorer.com, and it's all over the website. Take our survey. It's the survey tab. You take the survey, and that's exactly what Miss Chris did. She sent in a survey. It's done by the web provider. It automatically emails me. And what's nice about it, it is the best way to go ahead and categorize and tell your story briefly and swiftly, and then have it automatically get to me in a way where I can, it answers the pertinent questions that I need to know. So go check that out if you guys or anybody else, someone that you know that may have an encounter who'd like to be on, or have me read over their encounter. You can check that out.
Break it up a bit.
Yeah, I think we all are a little bit here tonight. You're kind of frozen as well.
You look like a blob squatch.
Yeah. Do you still hear us? We're actually not leaving yet, though, fans.
Barely.
Okay. Let's see here. So the next piece of business here is, let me get this set up real quick. Let's see. Let's go. I'll go ahead and show y'all now. So if you'd like to, this is the website, my website. If you go up at the top, you see survey. You go to survey, and Bigfoot Explorer encounter survey form. Name, email, phone number, your age. You can read through this, but that's how you can send me your encounter there. Okay. Now, another bit of information that we're giving out here tonight regards the Big Red Expedition at the end of September. Bigfoot Explorer, Christy Sci-Fi, myself, Patrick Vaughn, and maybe Bo McGee. We haven't heard much. I need to give him a call, but at the end of September, last weekend in September, we're headed to Mississippi on the Big Red expedition. We have several sites there, and I went ahead and made a GoFundMe for us, and primarily we are doing this. We're really in need of a thermal imaging camera or monocular. If you know anyone, there's several places that rent these things out, but the bad thing about renting them out is you need to use a credit card, and they basically withhold the amount of the camera on the credit card and then release it once they get it back. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing that. Just I don't feel safe doing that. I don't have that type of credit limit either. Years ago, I've cut the credit cards, and if you don't have the money, then you don't buy it.
So,
So that's the GoFundMe. I'm gonna go ahead and put the GoFundMe link. Let's see, how can I do that? What I need to do is do it on YouTube, though.
let's see if I can do this real quick.
Wait, bear with me, guys. I am trying to do this on the fly. The bad thing about sharing the GoFundMe on StreamYards is you can see it, but you can't click on it. And I can't paste a link in the StreamYard chat. They haven't got to that type of technology yet, right? So let me do this. I'm going to go to my channel real quick. Just bear with me. I appreciate it, guys. And we're going to go to this. I appreciate it, guys. Okay, we're going to turn that down. And
Booyah! Check it out.
oh, good. Sci-fi found a way to do it. Thank you.
Oh, Shep did it too.
Thank you so much. I know some people might think, well, that's not a lot. Well, it's not really a lot. I'd like to thank Ken Fletcher for be the first donation there. So thank you so much for doing that. And like I said, we're not looking. This is something that'll be in our arsenal. And the main reason we're looking to get this is that old Patrick's got places where he sees these things. They're there. It's going to happen. And being in having the place where the creatures are active, and having one like Patrick, who has been studying them since 2003, it kind of has some sort of pattern, enough of a pattern to be able to hear them, be able to see them occasionally, find their tracks. Hey, that's closer than anybody else that I know who has gotten to these things. So, the possibility is really there that we may be able to capture something. And if we're all in this to lay documentation down, I would just like to have a decent tool to do it. So if you guys would share that out, or we thank you so much. Go for
A FLIR would be absolutely.
Huh?
A FLIR would be absolutely useful. It'd be very useful.
Yes, it
You have
would.
no many time. You have no idea how many times that I'm knocking, and I can hear them walking through the woods, but I'm in pitch dark. I can't use the light on them because they'll go away, and I'm just sitting there knocking and listen to them walk. I'm talking 40, 50 yards out.
Yeah, and see,
FLIR would be awesome tool to have.
That's perfect range too. That's the kind of range that would be perfect. Let's see. The other bit of information that we're going to put out there, fans, is that this weekend, Patrick and Scott are actually going to go up around his area for a lightweight recon mission. So what's cool about that is that sometime next week, we'll have Bigfoot Explorer, we'll have some video footage of Patrick's area, and we're hoping that we have some sort. What we'd like to do is corroborate the single knock theory for sure, and then we will extend that with other experiments that we're going to try. If self-service presents itself and it's not too big of a hassle or impediment on what we're trying to do, I may try to go live sometime this weekend, but that's a big if. It's very spotty up there. It's in and out. I might just pop in just to say, hey, we're in the field, we're doing it. So we're very excited. It was kind of a whim, right? I mean, what brought on the idea just to go do it now, Patrick?
You're breaking up. Repeat the question.
What brought on the idea to just kind of go now?
Well, it's a 3-day weekend, and I haven't been in the field in a while.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'll pick up a camcorder and go out and just do some knocks. And I've been wanting to revisit this one area that I didn't get any audio video on it. And, the person just couldn't do it.
Right.
I've been wanting to revisit it, and you jumped in and said, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of worked. It things never really happened like this for me because I got my 2 kiddos. We lost Patrick. He is gonna be back in just a second. But I was so excited because my kids asked to go with my mom and my nephews and my sister. My aunt has a place in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, on the Gulf Coast. We've had it since the late 60s. I grew up there going to what we call the camp. It's on the Jordan River, if anybody knows the coast. He's back, fans. And so my kids want to go there. I asked them if I could go with Mr. Patrick to look for Sasquatch. And they're like, yeah. So it's literally a 3-day weekend for myself. And
yeah.
I kind of invited myself, which I felt bad, but he's like, no, that's fine. So we're just going to hook up.
I want,
huh?
There's at least three individuals in the Arkansas area we're going to go to, and at least 2 individuals in the southern part of the parish that we're going to go to Friday night. So Friday night, you'll probably get your first North Louisiana knocks audio or maybe on video. I don't know if we'll get to see them in the dark.
Right.
That's like I'm talking. A FLIR would be great because where we're going Friday night, they'll come up to the wood line knocking at you, but most of the time they're not going to step out.
Right.
Well,
like I told you, let's just keep it. Let's corroborate that single knock theory on video. I think that would be a great first start for having you on past videos, explain your theory, and then we go out there and then I'm going to have audio recorders and we'll have the video camera, and hopefully we'll be able to see you do what you're going to do. Hopefully we'll have some sort of response, and then perhaps it'll keep responding or get closer. That's the hope. that would corroborate your single knock theory. So, anything else we get is outstanding. But I think if we have good 3 days and the weather's
That's
supposed to
Friday
be,
night.
yeah, the weather's supposed to be really good, no rain, clear. The first little cool front of the south, which means it's still going to be in the 90s, but at night it's going to be in the mid 70s, which is unbelievable for us down here in South Louisiana. Plus, it's going to knock a little bit of that humidity out. So I can't help but be excited. And we're camping out. So it's not like we're going back to his home or to a camper or to a hotel. We're now we're not camping out exactly where we're doing this. Don't get me wrong there, but we're still camping out at a local campground somewhere in the parish. So that'll be a little spooky for me after doing this, leaving the area, and then okay, well, it's time to go to bed. So we'll see how that's going to be. Patrick, you have anything else you'd like to talk about? Without giving too much away, of course.
All right. Friday night, I believe we'll corroborate single knock theory.
Oh, we lost him again. Something's going on tonight. Reception has been horrible. I mean, and I'm plugged into a landline with 100 gigabit Ethernet, and something's been really bad. So we apologize. You're back.
All right, Friday night, I think I really believe within 80% we're going to corroborate single knock theory.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some tracking. I'm going to try to something to, and I'm going to try to repair a relationship with Sam. So I definitely want to go in there and try to whoop him up. I'm going to show him a gift and then try to set it out for him. We'll back out.
Awesome.
And then Saturday night, of course, is the Arkansas. We'll have to drive way up north Arkansas, and it'll certainly be dark when we get there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who's going to be knocking, you or I.
Okay.
But we'll try to call some in, and I'm gonna try to hit some of the spotlight while you film. That's my goal Saturday night. And then Sunday we have, I've talked a little bit about where Sam snuck up behind me and was sniffing my butt.
Yeah.
I didn't talk a whole lot about that because there were still parts of it I was trying to understand. But due to a linguistic video that you sent me, Scott,
Yep.
now I understand what the parameters of it all. So we're going to do an encounter video there, exactly in the same spot that happened.
Awesome! I can't wait. Man, this is going to be
fun. And then Sunday night we're going to do just a blind study, just like I do when I'm starting off in an area, picking all the resources and areas that they need. And we're going to pick a place like that and just go to it and do a blind investigation there and do some knocks and maybe some vocals. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm really excited too. Look, we have some questions in here, guys. Start sending you questions. We have a question from Chris Sliger. Does the single knock theory only work at night or any time?
I've only used it at night because during the day, most of the time I find them laid up way back from man. But you could try it at daytime. I never have. I've always gone at night.
Right.
I have a question for Patrick.
Yeah, go.
Hey Patrick, me and Scott was talking. Have you ever smelt the Sasquatch? And if so, what does it smell like?
I smelled Sam twice. It's a really musky, musky smell. There's nothing I can compare it to. No animal I can think of. I can say you can go sniff an animal and it's kind of similar, but the strength of it and just how loud it is, there's nothing I can explain that will help you understand. Just musky musk. You can. It's very loud downwind from 30 yards. It's very
Wait,
loud.
the smell is loud?
Yeah, you've heard of a loud smell,
Yeah.
an intense smell.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. One of the things, for the FLIR, this is what I wrote on the fundraiser page. We are in desperate need of a thermal imaging camera or a monocular. The thermal device must be able to record video and be of the third generation of thermal imagers and a 640 or 320 or higher max resolution video capture. Okay. We strongly feel that with the introduction of Patrick Vaughn's knowledge, skills, education, studies, and current connection to the Sasquatch species for the past 10 years, we may have a solid 70% chance of documenting living Sasquatch. So the reason why I say that is I know my resolutions, the FLIR Scout 1 and 2 will not cut it. The FLIR TK Scout maybe, but I don't think. It's going to take a FLIR Scout 3 or higher to be able to have the sort of edge resolution that we're going to need for people to see it and say, what is that? That looks like the edges of a body. The first second gen thermal devices with a 320 or lower resolution just won't cut it. It won't cut it anymore. It's not.
Well, if you go back and
not.
read, Rick Woodbooger was saying something
Yeah.
about different ones.
Yeah, we'll go back and look. Let's see. FLIR 1 Pro. Yeah, the FLIR 1 for the phones. The only bad thing about that is, they drain your phone. They drain your phone, and I don't care what anybody says. Max, you're going to get 20 or 30 feet, 40 feet. I don't care what the specs say. I've done a ton of research on it, videos. Just the phone FLIR for $400 from here to my driveway, sure, but 40 to 50 yards in dense cover, you maybe will have a heat signature or a part of one. We need to be able to see a body or a torso or an upper body and shoulder, not just a heat blob. That could be anything. So that's kind of my 2 cents and the reason why we put out the GoFundMe. So if we do get the goal of 3,000, it's going to be used for this type of work. Patrick's not going anywhere. I think he's very excited to finally put the hunter, the tracker, his studies with and all the technology, the cameras that I have, the audio equipment, and we're just going to try. We're going to try something. And
Just getting started.
Yeah, just really getting started with a team of tools at our disposal. It ought to be fun. It ought to be something. It might be something big for us. I mean, we may capture something that Bigfoot Explorer is extremely proud of and be able to show folks to be aware of. So that's basically it. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other Does anybody have any other questions? I know we're running a little late. 8:30. It's almost.
It's 9:49.
Yeah, but we usually go for an hour, and it's been
No,
over
we
an
normally go
hour.
to 10.
No, 8:30 to 9:30 is what we do usually. That's usually what the hour is. See, Fleer, feel free to send me any of your models.
Rick said maybe tie me to a stove in a cleared field. I don't need to be tied to a stump. They'll just come up and be curious.
All you got to do is wear a half shirt, and they'll be running.
No, I'm not wearing a half shirt.
I'm just saying though.
They'll be curious about me, believe me.
Yeah, but we're not doing that
It's okay. They'll be.
though.
That's all right.
Somebody said something.
Second weekend coming up. Woohoo!
They're asking about the parishes. Look, guys, we're not saying what parishes that this is in at all. It's in North Louisiana, so don't ask. Um, that's just it. We are not going to be put in a position where people find out where this area is. Pat, it'd be totally disrespectful of Patrick and all his studies and time that he has put in. If people just onslaught and overload these areas trying to do this, so just be respectful of the
Well,
of of keeping the sites anonymous, to keep Sasha and Sam as safe as they can be right now.
protected.
So yes, he still sees Sasha. What
No,
are you laughing
look
at?
at what Tony said.
Man,
Yeah, that's not funny.
What?
It's not funny. So
Wow.
let's see. Was going to tell you you could use my Fleer. What kind of Fleer do you have, Big Rob? Someone said they also emailed me. Miss Christina, Miss Chris, still crazy Chris. She sent me a donation of $20. So thank you so much, Miss Chris. I appreciate that. I really do. That's awesome. Did he say what he had? Charlie, I didn't get your Charlie Clinton. Hope you got my email. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I have not gotten an email from Charlie yet. All right, Carl, thanks for joining. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to go.
I thought you were going to show the video.
I didn't even have time to.
Oh.
I'd have to get it off my phone. It's
Oh.
on the phone. Next show, we're gonna have a funny video. Well, we're not gonna tell them now.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it's something that happened to Christy Sci-Fi. It was silly. So and tonight I was really stressed out. I was angry. You know, I spend good money on that StreamYard stuff. I don't do the free one. And I'm getting these white screens constantly. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I had the help support on, and they were basically like, I don't know. We've never had white screen issue. I'm like, well, I know I'm fixing to go live in 30 minutes. Can you please start troubleshooting or telling me something to do to help me try to figure this out, or we're not going to have a show tonight, and I'm getting rid of StreamYards, and I'm going to tell everybody else not to use StreamYards. So anyway, we did a few things. I think part of what they told me to do and part of something that I have no idea what I might have done helped. And we were a little late, but it worked. It came back it came back, you know. So that's it for the show tonight. I know it was a bit, I don't know, kooky, kind of disjointed here, but we want to thank Still Crazy Chris for coming on and telling her accounts. Thank you, Patrick, for coming on and discussing our little weekend recon mission that we're well, really, it's a mission. It's a full-blown mission. It's not a recon mission. I'm headed up
Bigfoot Explorer, North America, North Louisiana hunt.
Bigfoot Explorer, North
North
Louisiana
Louisiana hunt.
mission. Yes, that's happening this weekend. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Until next time, fans. Y'all stay safe out there and be nice to one another, please. Thank you.